Welcome to Real Estate First Technology, where you'll get the inside scoop from top producing real estate professionals all around the country, best practices, techniques, and learn about what technology they're using to drive to ensure their success in this world we call real estate. Hey everyone, welcome. I'm Norman Kinsey, your host here with Real Estate First Technology. We have our co-host, Mr. Dan Gandy. Welcome, Dan. We're both here with Liftoff Agent at today's show. And we also have our special guest, Heather. Welcome, Heather, to the show.
Hi, everybody.
Awesome. So fantastic. So for today's episode, we're going to ask you some questions, Heather, and really let individuals know kind of what you're doing and what you've done to be successful, leveraging, some technology. So let's go ahead and get into it. So where do you specialize and what made you get into the business?
So I am Berkshire Hathaway Home Services, and I am in the San Francisco Bay Area. So the lovely, all of the Bay that it is. We have a lot of bridges in a lot of counties. And I'm born and raised in San Francisco, but I went back east for college and work. And then when I came home, it was, I wanted to do real estate. My family's in construction industry. My father was a floor covering guy. I painted my way through college, so I know houses. And I figured real estate was a good way that I could raise my kid, do whatever I wanted, and make a lot of money and help people.
Have that flexibility.
Yeah, exactly.
Awesome.
Exactly.
That's awesome. So what made you get into the business, and how long have you been in the business so long so far?
I am in my 14th, 15th year. I came back from New York in 2004, got my license in 2005, and I've been going full-time strong ever since. And I got into it because this is my hometown. I was living back east. It was either if I'm going to do real estate, I'll do it here or I'll do it in the Hamptons. And I didn't know the Hamptons, right? But I know a lot of people out there, but I'd have to learn the streets and everything. And I wanted to come home. I'd been gone 13 years, so come back to family and everything. So, and I know, these are my streets. I don't have to look at a map when I came home. I know who, what, where, when, and why, and I love it. It's fun. Architecture's fun.
That's awesome. Fantastic.
So yeah, I just wanted to ask a few questions as well, Heather. So what's your annual production level, and what type of technology are you currently using to help you rise above every year?
A lot of social media, a lot of networking. I pay to play, definitely pay to play, and networking with other agents as well. So people coming and going. Because I do have a lot of travel experience in the world and I have lived all over the country, I do have a pretty broad network. So that agent to agent exchange matters a lot when you want to be an agent. Like, one thing I was told when I got my license is you can no longer be the jerk on the street that yells at somebody for running a red light on you.
You look familiar.
Because you might have to sell that person's home.
Yeah.
And if you have to sell that person's home and you just called them a jerk or whatever down the street, they might remember what you look like.
Yep.
So, it's networking. And then online social media, I started way back when I came back. I know websites are the way to go. I mean, technology is technology. So you just always have to keep up with the latest and the greatest. I've got coaching, so they always give me what is on the horizon. Hired a fabulous marketing team, as you guys know. I've gone through a lot of different marketing teams, though, but I will say the amount of work that it used to take versus now, where there's a system in place. When I was starting, it was go to GoDaddy, think of a good domain name, buy it before somebody else buys it, and then maybe somebody will want to buy it off you one day if you do it right. But it has been about building a business, but paying to play. So on the bigger websites, I don't pay anymore for Zillow because I have my own political reasons why I won't do that. But I do pay to play in other mediums and referrals and whatnot. So but social media for sure.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, it sounds like you have a good digital presence. You also have your sales systems and marketing. Is there any other methods that you're using to get clients, and how much has technology really become a part of that process? I think you mentioned before you're big into email marketing and nurturing.
Yes. I do a lot of the email marketing. So I've automated a lot of stuff. So I use Outbound Engine for news, like monthly newsletters, but then that also posts some of the cuter things, the recipes, the normal things. And then I hired Liftoff, and you guys, I feed you with what I can, but if not, then you're doing a really good job of creating data and content, and just getting everything out there. So really streamlining where you have the same photograph across everything, you have the same phone number across everything. Because if somebody finds me on my website through some click that they click on social media, or if they see it in a newspaper or somewhere, everything has to be the same. So if there's a different phone number, it messes it up. So having a team, I think that, or doing it yourself, just going through and making sure your LinkedIn is, LinkedIn is big for me too, actually. I get a lot of business through LinkedIn, actually, now that I think about it.
Wow, that's a good tip.
Yeah, by the way.
No, agents always ask me, like, is LinkedIn really worth it, or am I just like sending updates to all my realtor friends? And I always say,
well, you're sending updates to all your realtor friends, but this last year, this year, I just closed a condo, and it came from a real estate agent in San Francisco that had decided to get her law degree, and she had to study for the bar. And we weren't in the same office, nothing, but she had remembered me from years and years of working, because I worked the distressed properties. I worked with the bank. She worked with the bank. So within that distressed property network, and she had just remembered me as being a very honest and hardworking person. And she came to me and asked me to take on all of her clients while she was studying for the bar. And
that's awesome.
That's
right. I mean, and that's just being a person, because if you're going to refer somebody as an agent, you want to refer the best person that you know. And so to have another agent say that, well, that was pretty, I was like, oh yeah, pat myself on the back. That was cool,
Wow.
But that, and LinkedIn, I just, I think a lot of people do use it, because when a lead comes in for me, if I think it's a legitimate lead, do you think I'm not Googling and LinkedIn, whoever these people are? I want to know if you have money, or I'm not going to, okay, I'll help you, but you need to be legit. I'm not going to get involved with somebody that's a scam artist and they're all out there. So you have to do your networking, and LinkedIn helps, I think. For sure.
Wow. Sure. Well, those are all the questions for me, Norman. I know you got some good ones.
Yeah, definitely. And that's actually interesting that you bring that up, because, that's some things that we do at the Top Agent. We do Google searching, but that's awesome to see that, agents out there are also Google searching and finding out information and quote unquote window shopping.
Well, you have to, you do. I'm not going to pick clients that are waste my time. I do too much business, and I can't be stuck in this cycle with people that are wasting my time. I see it, filter it out, because some people just aren't real.
Yes. It's amazing how technology have shifted now, where it's so easy to look people up. And like now, as humans, as just normal, just bystanders, we're over here looking people up ourselves. It's not like the day and the age of like your criminal record and let's look you up and see what you have. Now it's just like, hey, I just want to see if you're a person. It's right.
Exactly. Are you a bot? Are you a person? It is very important, however, to get in front of that person if you want to make the sale. So if we're talking to realtors here, yes, a lot of online chatting, doing your research. Don't be skeezy. Don't let them know that you like hunted down and where their kindergartner goes to school. Like, don't do that. Like that's freaky. But I mean, it's an important part of it. And the goal is to just make that appointment and get in front of the person and look them in the eyes, because when they're making this choice to purchase a home or sell a home, they need to know that the human being on the other end of that super cool technology, they can trust with their life, and that you're going to not walk them down the wrong path. And then I think that people get it. People know if you're not.
Yep.
Yeah, definitely. No, that's really good information, and some good information for people to take note on as our listeners out there are listening. So tell me where you see your business in 5 years, and do you see technology over the course of the next 5 years playing more of a major part in the development and growth of your business?
Absolutely. I mean, technology it's frightening where technology is, and it's also frightening where a lot of these tech companies are coming from, trying to cut the real estate agent out, or trying to make things like the way that we make money. Oh, well, you make so much, you make so much money, we're going to take all that out. The buyer deserves to have that money. Well, the reality is some people, we've worked with you for 3 years without getting paid 1 cent, right? Or we've worked with you really, really hard. We've gotten you to straighten your life, all of these things to get you to that point. And then all of a sudden you suddenly have a buddy that you got drunk with that's going to write that's going to do that. So it's technology in one degree is really good. To another degree, I think it can be overwhelming. And if you're just a first-time home buyer or a first-time seller, you inherited a property, you need a professional on your side that understands the parts of that technology that will work the best to get the top dollar for your property. Because every property is different, every neighborhood is different, every group of buyers within each city is slightly different in terms of how they're going to think and how they're going to negotiate. And so technology is really good, but sometimes it's too much. Like, for example, Matterport videos. Those are ones people think they're really cool. I go in them, I think they're really cool. Ooh, cool, I can walk through, da, 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 da. But guess what? Then I don't show up to the open house. And if you don't show up to the open house, you're not going to buy the property. So there's a balance that needs to happen. And I think right now we're in this level of figuring out that balance. In 5 years, I'm sure it'll be a little bit better than it is now, and some people really like all these, I want to walk around with this thing on my head and just walk through the open house. Okay, well, you still have to live here and kick up your shoes and sweep the floor, and you better like it. So I still think at the end of the day, it's a relationship-based business. So build relationships and help people achieve their goals.
Awesome.
Most definitely. So do you see yourself in 5 years growing a team, or what do you see your specific business?
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, I already have a team that's been growing. And we're pretty tight knit. Because we do commercial, we do some leasing, we do regular sales, we do multi-units, we do condos, even do BMRs, below market rate, the mayor's office of housing programs that some cities have. So we run the entire gamut, right? So, and in order to run that and then service all of these listings and open houses and having parties and door knocking and all these things we do, having a team's important, because I like to be at home at night with my 4-year-old, and then someone else can go meet the client.
That's awesome. Definitely. So as you scale your business, then, so you recommend for other agents out there, develop a team as you get larger to help you be able to free up your time, spend that time with your family or your loved ones, and not have to.
But calculated, but calculated. I realize that if you're going to bring somebody in, if you were going to make $10,000, you're now going to make 5. So now you better sell 3 or 4 houses instead of 1, not just double, because you always want to be making more money, right?
Yep.
So, but just realize that, and definitely budget for the switch over.
Really, really good advice. I think that's awesome, because you really got to think about, okay, now I'm scaling my company and I need funds for marketing. I need funds for my team. I need to make sure I have X to be able to pay for. So
because you don't want to lose a good team member either. Because if you get a good team member in and then you train them to do exactly what you do and how you do it, you don't want to lose them to your competition or them become your competition, right? So it's important to train and retain, and people will get retained by money, because at the end of the day, it's money. Everything, but it's all boiling down to money.
Yes, indeed. So we're coming closer to the end of the show. Wanting to ask you a couple last questions. Any good tips that you would give to a new agent who's inspiring to get to your level of success?
Show up at work every day. Yes, you can take off the weekends, but make a schedule and show up and do the hours. So if you're rolling into the office at 1 o'clock in the afternoon and leaving at 3, you've got a problem. You're not working. If you're out working, if you're driving and doing phone calls and door knocking, that's working and prospecting, but make sure that you schedule in X amount of hours. And I would say at least 2 hours a day just for prospecting and lead follow-up, but just be scheduled. Treat your business like a business that you clock in with yourself. And if you don't clock in, you don't get paid. That's kind of what it boils down to.
Great advice.
Yeah.
Very good advice.
Yeah. It's not easy money. You have to work hard at it.
Yes, yes. And I know a lot of times it's just like, oh, get into real estate, it'll be good money, get one or two deals, and I'll make these big commission checks. But then, these agents get into business, they realize really quick that, oh my God, self-management and staying on top of prospecting and going to broker's tour. And there's just so much more to it than just like, oh, I'm going to get a big commission. So that's really,
Well,
really
you have to sell big to get big. I mean, at the same time, right? If I'm selling mobile homes, I'm making $1,500 a sale. If I'm selling a $6 million house, I'm making $100,000 a sale, right? You have to be able to network, right? Or work the numbers well. So
yeah, and that puts a lot of things in perspective, I think, for individuals as well. So a couple last questions: books, podcasts, recommendations. There's a lot of coaches out there. What would you recommend for a real estate professional that wanted to maybe get some help because they're having a hard time staying focused, or get some help because they maybe need that coach or mentor or book or podcast to read? Any recommendations?
I would recommend Tom Ferry. You can actually go to his YouTube videos, and he does. Those are, I think people can just access them for free and just watch the videos. He's super inspiring. That is the coach that I do use, and the network within that is pretty fabulous. I mean, just as agents across the country and ideas. Once you decide to pay to play, you're going to get a lot more information. So agent to agent, what does your listing agreement look like? What do you say? What are your scripts? But just to get yourself motivated without having to pay a penny, YouTube is the Tom Ferry website, the Tom Ferry podcasts on YouTube, or I would definitely recommend those. And yeah, start there.
Awesome. All right. Well, the floor is yours. Anything you want to end on? Anything. Go ahead. Anything that you want to say to end the episode.
Good luck. Work hard at it. Have some reserves before going into it, and always stay positive, and be real. Like, the minute you're dishonest and negative, people will sense it. So always be honest and always be positive, and people want to work with happy, positive people.
Well, awesome. Well, thank you so much for being our guest today. Thank you for being with us, Dan. Thank you for being our co-host. We're switching things up. We're going to switch up the co-host and keep people on their feet. So not are we just going to have a different actual guest, we're going to have a different co-host to kind of make it fun and different. So stay tuned for the next one. Take care, everyone. And thank you for tuning in to Real Estate vs. Technology. Thank you for tuning in to today's episode. We hope you found value and took something you can apply to your business today. Be sure to join our community on Facebook, Real Estate vs. Technology, all spelled out. Also, subscribe to our YouTube channel. We would appreciate it. It's Real Estate Tech. And of course, if you or someone else you know would like to be a part of our show, just go ahead and send us an email. It's reversetechtalk@gmail.com, and we'll see you next week.